I've been investing $60 every paycheck into 12 dividend-paying stocks for the past 88 weeks, and you're about to see what it's turned into. In this series that I do every other Monday here on the channel, I wanted to not only show that anyone can invest, but also show that you too can create a 100% completely passive income. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. My name is Troy, and today we're going to dive into my real cash portfolio that I began right here on YouTube to show what building a 100% completely passive income portfolio looks like from the ground up. Now, this is the 45th episode, so if you happen to be 44 episodes behind, I'll link episode 1 above. It tells you all about the ins and outs of this portfolio. But now let's quit messing around and get into the real numbers behind this portfolio. Last episode, this portfolio kept on its impressive climb and hit another all-time high and was sitting at a value of $3,100.23. We were looking at gains of $429.72, or 16.31% since starting this portfolio from $0. While there are many things out of our control in the market, there are some things that we can always control. One of those being consistency. With that in mind, let's take a look at the latest buys and moves in this portfolio. All of this episode's buys took place on September 19th, 2025. Since this portfolio is now 88 weeks old and the goal is to add $5 into each stock bi-weekly, the goal amount for each of the 12 positions now sits at $225. And here you can see that we're right on track, or at least close enough to count, since Fidelity doesn't let us invest anything under $1 at a time. Now, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit and check out the overall trend of this portfolio and some bigger picture numbers. Looking at this chart, you can see the ebbs and flows of the total portfolio value since day one. With this portfolio being both smaller and newer, there will certainly be a lot of volatility because we didn't try to time the market with any of these stocks, and most people that try that strategy suck at it anyway. If you look to the far right of this chart where we are now, you can see that with episode 45, we actually went down a little in overall value despite adding in a new $60 for this week's investment. There are three things I want to pull from this. First, each of the last two times this portfolio went down, that was right before our larger and longer run up. Second, you'll notice that smoother line that's heading up and to the right. Well, we're far above that overall trend line, so that means we're doing something right. Lastly, even if this is the start of a bigger drop to come, as long-term investors, we embrace that and will stay on the path, which will pay us many dividends down the road. Pun intended. Overall, this portfolio has a value of $3,081.93, and that dot for today's episode has this portfolio up $351.01, or 13.03%. And just 10 episodes ago, we were climbing out from being in the red. So again, we're doing just fine. Now, I wanted to go ahead and share with you which stocks are doing the best and which ones not so much, with the best and worst performers. For anyone that's been watching this series for any length of time, you get one guess to name the best performing stock. If you said AVGO, then you get one Troy buck that can't be spent anywhere or on anything, so take good care of it. Broadcom is up a massive $215.54, or 95.96%, which is super exciting no matter how large or small the position. Now, this episode, despite some stocks trying their best to throw away all my money, I'm talking to you, CSL and Humana. The worst performer remains ODFL, down an impressive $50.34, or 22.46%. As I alluded to earlier, even if this is the start of a pullback of sorts, the more I invest while my stocks are in the red, the lower my cost basis will drop, and the easier it is to come back into the green and make even more money. The only thing about these holdings that I love even more than making money is lowering my cost basis on stocks I have strong conviction on for the long term. With that being said, I told you earlier in the video that I was building a source of passive income with these stocks, so let's see how slowly but surely that's going, and check out the dividends received since last episode. Over the past 2 weeks, I've gotten paid 2 times just for sitting back and doing nothing, as passive as it gets. On September 11th, I received 8 cents from KNSL. While that might not seem like a lot, because it's not, you can see that with each and every payment, we get more and more money from this holding. In total, KNSL has now paid me 31 cents, which amounts to exactly 1% of the income received in this portfolio. Then, just a few days ago, ODFL decided to throw me 33 cents on the 17th. Once again, nothing to brag to the boys about, but that payment has also increased every single time it has paid out and now amounts to a total of $1.17 or 3.78% of all of the money received in this account. With those two payments added in, our September total now sits at $1.01, which is already 29.5% higher than all of September last year and sets us up to see if we can top the third month of last quarter where we brought in $1.63. So far, for all of 2025, this portfolio has made a total of $23.68, which is already 227.1% higher than all of 2024, and we aren't even done with September yet. Now, an idea I had a while ago was to keep stacking the passive income from this portfolio, and once it hits one full bi-weekly investment amount, $60, we'll do a bonus investment. So let's check on the progress towards that right here. Last episode, we were sitting at a bonus investment date of January 9th, 2026, which was actually the same exact date from the previous episode. While that sucked to learn and report on, this episode, we're back to heading in the right direction. This episode, we're sitting with a bonus investment date of December 26th, 2025, also known as day one for the kids that got coal and promised to change their ways before next Christmas. All jokes aside, that knocked off 14 days since the last episode and a total of 392 days since I began tracking this back in episode 30. Looking at the trend line, I'm going to assume that in the next few episodes, we're due for a larger drop to get us back on that trend line. So stay tuned for that, and don't you dare miss that first bonus investment. Now, to close out this episode, why don't we look a little into the future and see what passive income and ex-dividend dates are headed our way between now and next episode. The next update to this portfolio will be on October 6th, 2025. Between now and then, we have a few key dates to keep an eye on. As far as ex-dividend dates go, we have AVGO on September 22nd, HUM on September 26th, and STLD and DDS on September 30th. Then, regarding the payments coming our way, we have three. AVGO and the interest on that bonus investment cash on September 30th to close out the month end Q3, and then PHM to kick off Q4 on October 2nd. Will this portfolio rebound and head for even more all-time highs, or was this episode the start of something to come? Let me know what you think down in the comments, and meet me back here in 2 weeks to find out. And that wraps up this update to the Anyone Can Invest portfolio. If you got any value or entertainment from this episode, go ahead and drop a like as it helps more people discover the series. And if you have any questions or suggestions to make this series even better, drop those in the comments down below as I personally read and respond to every one of them. And if you're curious what this portfolio could turn into years from now, check out this video right here. But until next time, see you.